First and foremost, we'll give all praises to the Heavenly Father,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakudash.
As always, we give double honor to the apostles, the bishops, the elders at Great Millstone, who do well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect, those of you coming back to the Most High God, Yahweh. All right, through the sacrifice made by His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All right, in these latter days, through whom we have received the Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, to do exactly what you see happening. Servants of the Lord returning back. All right, repenting, coming out on the highways and the byways to prophesy the downfall of the modern day Egypt, all right, which is Babylon, the Great and Holy Scriptures, America, along with NATO and the EU is the beast system spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter, all right, who is to come and to oppose, all right, the Most High, to be at war with the Most High, all right, via the biblical Edomites who run this beast system, all right. So again, we're living in perilous times. There's a lot going on, all right. Pretty much every second there's a new something to give attention to, all right? We're living in a time where plagues are hitting, okay? But more importantly, what we're looking at is that the nations, all right, are turning an evil eye towards Babylon the Great, okay? Because they've had enough of the wine. So let's start at Revelation 11, and brothers can get, y'all got it. Get to Revelation 11 and 8, the last two verses, or the verse before the last.
Revelation chapter 11. Revelation chapter 11 verse 18.
Yep.
And the nations were angry.
Right, and the nations are angry, okay? And this is the time we're living in. The nations, meaning the heathen, are angry. That's why all of these nations are trying to figure out a way around the dollar. You got many nations joining with Russia in talks of a new currency, trying to start their own new world order, okay? You got a lot happening, man.
Yeah, man, you're witnessing the pot being stirred for Armageddon. These smaller nations 10, 20 years ago wouldn't have been so public about their disagreement with Babylon the Great.
Right.
And you're seeing it now, so you got to ask yourself, what's going on? The Lord's putting the Spirit on these people to stand up against the evil. So you see that line being drawn in the sand, man. You put the Uganda passed a bill that if you identify, notice the play on words, LGTB, right? You could face up to 10 years in prison.
20 in certain places.
Yeah. So that's a direct, in direct opposition to America, to that corporation that the elites use to push their vibration on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something we're seeing in all the end prophecies being laid out before us and get ready to play out, man. So it's beautiful to see, things like that.
Right, and Russia, all right, talked about how they don't want their young men and women poisoned by the philosophies of the West. They criticize the West for pushing the alphabet agenda on children and pushing it, period. All right, getting on them about how they've abandoned God and they put family, they've destroyed family structure. China is talking about their men need to man up and stop looking at Western media. Okay, and they're shutting off on their Netflix. There's particular things you can't watch that come from the West over in various different countries. Mm-hmm. So we're witnessing an evil eye being turned towards Babylon. Read that again.
Revelation chapter 11 verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged.
The dead is you heathen, okay? You've ruled the earth, all right, through the works of death. Also 2/3 of our people, all right? It's judgment coming to those who are not, with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But synonymously, as you keep reading, go ahead.
And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets.
The servants, the prophets, are getting ready to get a reward.
Yep.
See, the heathen are getting ready to be taken down, but the servants, the prophets, are getting ready to get a reward. We believe that this is the final time that the prophets are going to have to labor and toil and try to plead with our people to come back to the Lord and speak against an evil ruler. Because after this, the throne of David is going to be set up as Babylon the Great is destroyed. The next kingdom is the throne of David. We ain't going to have to go and preach and prophesy to our people. We'll teach the heathen. Okay, but this is the final go round, all right? Scripture said the prophets have been since the world began, warning people, all right, of the very times that we're in. So they're finally here. But there's at the end of Esau's world comes what? The beginning of Jacob's world. That's the reward that we're here fighting for. Go ahead.
and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them.
Small and great. So those of you who are, fervently in the spirit and wholeheartedly believe, you pray, if you send alms or tithes, if you can. If not, just pray and wholeheartedly believe to the best of your ability. Hey, the Heavenly Father is going to give you a reward. There's a reward coming for this sacrifice that we have been foreordained to offer up in these latter days. This is a sacrifice, okay? Because this is an anti-Messiah world. So here it is. We're pushing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which we're seeing laws being passed and set up around the world to where it will be illegal to have the mindset of the Bible.
Yep.
Okay? Go ahead.
And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
All right, and you're seeing and witnessing the destroyers of the earth at play. Okay, all of these train derailments. All right, the food is all toxic, the air's toxic, the water's toxic, animals are dying off. So the Heavenly Father is getting ready to come and take this whole energy off the planet Earth and set up a righteous kingdom, man. So you got to get one.
Yeah, you can get Habakkuk 2, 4 and 5, and also, like the other said, Jeremiah 51.
Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not aright in him.
Whose soul? The man that the earth was given into his hands. All right? Go ahead.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
Transgresseth by wine, his philosophy. Let's get that Jeremiah 51 just to back that up before we continue on in Habakkuk 2. His ways, man. That's why you will see Kamala Harris all the way in Uganda.
Right, this bitch got on the airplane.
Yeah, she got an airplane, flew over there talking to the Ugandan parliament about why this is such this is a core of civil rights.
Right.
Wow.
Living that death style is a core to civil rights. This is the world that you live in.
Right.
So America's been fixated or positioned as this country who has a monopoly on morality. The Ugandan parliament said, man, maybe we need to start pushing our morals on the West. And that actually would do a whole lot of good. But go ahead, you got it?
Jeremiah 51 and 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
The nations are mad, man. You're seeing that fighting spirit being roused up in everybody to oppose this wickedness, man, to oppose this beast system.
Right.
That golden cup in his hand what got everybody drunk.
Yeah. Go ahead, you got it?
I got a quick one, bro. It's Psalm 73 and 9 in the NLT. It says they boast against the very heavens, and their words strut throughout the earth. Going into that wine, man. His philosophies.
Yeah.
Verse 10 is the point. And so the people are dismayed and confused, drinking in all their words. You see? Drunk off their wine, taking in their philosophy, which brings nothing but confusion, man. Therefore, like you said, therefore in Jeremiah 51, therefore the nations are mad, man. These people are tired of Esau's rulership, man. The Lord is revealing Esau for being the damn crook that he is, man.
Right.
And that's throughout all of the earth. And that also goes back to prove that this man is the devil, because only 2 people were prophesied to have a worldwide dominion in this fashion. Right?
Yeah.
They actually have been put in a position to where they can push this on the whole earth. We go back to Habakkuk, actually read that again.
And okay, come on. This is back in Psalm 73.
Go ahead.
Slack, my phone loaded. Psalm 73 and verse 9, it says they boast, in the NLT, they boast against the very heavens, and their words strut throughout the earth. And so the people are dismayed and confused, drinking in all their words.
Yeah, man, even here, you have you legit, and you can look this up. Oh, man.
Oh, Satan, yeah, it's picking
You
up.
know what? Okay. Maybe I can put it down.
All of a sudden picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even here in America.
Satan mad than the mama.
Yeah, he mad, man. Even here in America, you have a bunch of pastors. They'll have like the sash, but it'll be the pride sash.
Right.
And they'll try to say that this is a holy thing, man.
Right.
When it's blatantly against the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Exactly.
Hey, it said his mouth speaks against the heavens.
Against the
Boast
heavens.
against the heavens.
What's it?
They're talking about the first woman
black person to go to the moon.
Oh, come on, man.
It's
That-
2023.
Come on,
You still
man.
running
Stop
with
it.
that shit, man.
yeah, I know,
People
right?
believe him.
Stop, bro.
And people believe this devil,
That's
man.
speaking great things because that's what the scriptures say. He will speak great things against the Most High.
Right.
So
Might bring you
that's-
down
that-
some.
We're witnessing that. Like, that's crazy, man. They're talking about they can use brainwaves to know what you're thinking now.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the type of technology that's being perpetuated in the earth.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's
To be
it.
the Most High, basically.
That's in the movie Minority Report.
Yeah.
You can do like pre-crime shit. If you think something, they come and arrest you before you even do the
they'll
crime.
convict you. They'll say this: the percentage of you actually committing this crime is this percentage. So even though you didn't do it, we're gonna arrest you. That's the mindset this devil is in, man.
Right.
He wants to control what you're thinking. He wants to control life and death. He wants to control sex.
Want to be like the Most High?
You know, so it's clear that the wicked is being revealed, man. We're seeing who that wicked man, the son of perdition, is in the scriptures.
Right.
All right. You got
Keep reading
something?
Habakkuk.
We still got the Habakkuk. Go back to it.
Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine.
So now we know what that wine is. His philosophy, his ways, his words.
Right.
The scriptures talk about is what comes out of a man. That's what defileth a man. His words that people are tasting is defiling the minds of the people, and they're confused. People don't know up and down, left and right. People don't know what a woman is. Go ahead.
He is a proud man.
Right,
Neither
they did all of that marching about the whole women thing and women right, only to get to the end and can't even define what a woman is.
This is stupid.
Oh man. And they have all of the rights.
Yeah.
So it's like, now what are you marching for? You're just a demon.
Yeah.
You there's no restrictions on women in the West like that.
Yeah.
Like you
No
can do everything a man can do.
There's a YouTube page called It's Complicated.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's my man.
I like that dude.
That's
Yeah,
my
like,
joint.
what are you marching for? Like now
Right.
what are you marching for?
Yeah, he'll ask them. He'll be like, he'll ask the women, especially in the West. He'll be like,
Yeah, that's my
well,
shit.
what rights do men have that women don't have?
In the
And
West.
In the
Right.
West, and they can't name anything. So they'll say, oh, nothing. I can't even think of things. He'll say, then what is feminism pushing for? Then?
What are you mad about? Like what's next?
And they'll be like, I didn't think
Hey,
about that.
you see how much freedom you have,
Yeah.
and you cannot, and you go crazy.
Yeah.
You have all this freedom. That means you still need to be guided. They got all this fucking liberty and don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Another
Fake
question.
asses.
Yeah. Another
Cutting on
question
yourself
that
like
he
a
asked,
goddamn fool.
he said he spoke to this woman. He says, can I speak on abortion? She says, no, because you're not a woman. He says, then his
Wow.
next question was, can I identify as a woman? She was like, yeah. It was like
Con.
complete
Shit is
and utter
retarded, bro.
confusion. These people they
Man.
need deliverance, man. They need to be saved from themselves.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got it, brother?
Yeah. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires as hell.
Neither keep it at home. If Kamala Harris going over to Uganda, that was an example of that. But even
Right.
prior to that, America has over 200 military bases in foreign countries. But
Yep.
what do you think they're doing there? They're pushing their vibration. They extort those nations for their resources. They're setting up revolutionary groups to undermine the government in particular nations. And then when that government is completely dismantled, they'll step in and say, well, we have the solution. Here's our democracy.
Yep.
Democracy, people voting on judgment. And your vote really don't mean anything anyway, because they gonna get in there and push their agenda regardless.
Right.
Through their media, they're gonna bombard you with so much that you're gonna think their way is the way. You got something?
Pretty much.
Micah 2 and 1 in the NLT, it says, what sorrows await you who lie awake at night thinking of evil plans? You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so.
Yep.
Verse 2, it says, when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence.
Man, if that's not Esau.
Decree on righteous decrees.
In great detail, that's who nobody else fits that.
Nope.
You really think about it, man. A nation will find out, oh, we have all these oil deposits. America will pop up and be like, hey, you got some oil there, huh? Well, sell it to us. But you got to use dollars.
In the name of democracy.
You understand? So, in all actuality, they end up getting in debt with America. They're getting loans. You know what I mean?
Right, or America will send an economic hitman to, if you don't, as a leader of a country, if
Right.
you don't want to get down with it, you'll have a plane crash.
Yeah.
You choke on a pit of a donut.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the nigga just died.
Right.
He just died dead. It always happens. They
Always.
just end up dead. And then they put what? A puppet leader
Yeah.
that's going to allow them to afford their agenda.
Yeah.
This man gotta
And
be
that
stopped.
economic hitman has been sent to America.
Right.
You're seeing all these trade crashes. You're seeing all these things going on with the currency.
Right.
They're done using America as a corporation.
Right.
These other nations are seeing the chink in the armor, so they're getting the courage to stand up.
Right.
But in all actuality, America really isn't who you're fighting against. You're
Right.
fighting against the elites.
Right.
You're fighting against the bankers.
Right.
Right? You was done with that?
That's what you want. It says, when you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family's inheritance.
So the prophets are warning of a man who moves in this way.
Right.
A man that can't sleep unless he's plotting on your downfall. He literally cannot sleep. He can't rest unless he's causing something to fall. It says it in Proverbs as well. Go ahead.
Verse 3, it says, but this is what the Lord says. I will reward your evil with evil. You won't be able to pull your neck out of the noose. You will no longer walk around proudly, for it will be a terrible time.
Yeah.
They're not going to escape.
Yeah.
They're not going to escape.
You seen the movies where you'll have the guy he's hunting something, or he laid a trap for somebody, and he ends up getting caught in the trap himself? That's what the Lord is setting Esau to run into, man.
Right. Right. Now, in a democracy works on behalf of the people.
Right.
So what the people cry for and what the people want, that's how you, in a republic, these are the set laws. This is the standards.
This
If you
is
abide
yeah.
by this, you'll be happy. You'll be good. So with the democracy, Esau is able to go into these various different nations, okay, and where they don't have issues with women not driving, he can make it an issue.
Yeah.
So he'll set up a false group, all right, in a place where women don't have the rights they have as the Western women. In a particular, and what they'll do is they'll start marching.
Right.
And then chaos back and forth over this particular right, all right, starts to be showed on the news, okay? So then what a democracy does is it says, okay, we're gonna pass laws and legislation, all right, to benefit the people in this cause. But what it's really doing, okay, is leading you into a snare.
Right.
Okay, because first of all, now he's able to forward his agenda in this nation that really they never had a problem with.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just the devil. Why the hell Kamala Harris got on the airplane?
Yeah.
Getting turbulent, you know what I'm saying? To
With-
get off the plane and tell them, nigga, you gotta be nasty.
You got to be down with us.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you mentioned they'll have these groups set up in the country that are marching and they'll arrest these people. In some countries they'll find out, you know, who are these people behind these organizations that are standing up and complaining. And they'll arrest the people and realize these people aren't even from here.
Right.
Where do these people come from?
Right, where do they come from?
Because this devil put something wrong. Hey, the devil will set up these basically crisis actors to make something a problem in your country, and people are so gullible, especially the women, and they'll see these people marching behind this cause, right? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, I shouldn't have to wear my hijab. Right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
You've been wearing it all your
You've
life.
been wearing it your whole life.
Grew up
It hasn't
wearing
been
it.
a problem. You wasn't feeling like less of a person before.
Right.
But all of a sudden, man, these niggas who never planned it,
Right.
complain about it, and now you think it's a problem.
Right.
That was hot.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you have this politician that'll come out of nowhere steamrolling with all
Right.
these great smooth words,
Right.
saying, yeah, you shouldn't have to da-da-da-da.
Right.
And this nigga set up as well.
Right.
It's just how Jake in the hood, he'll send a woman, get y'all enthralled with her, just to set you up. This devil's doing it on
Like on Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
This devil doing it on the biggest level though.
Right.
He's just a nigga in a suit.
That
Yeah.
nigga in the suit.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
golden cup got cyanide in it.
Yeah.
Drink that shit poison, man.
I got one. This is
Yeah.
Proverbs 23 and whew.
Yeah, I know where to start.
I start at 6. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. For as he thinketh in his mind, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he unto thee, but his heart is not with thee.
Yeah, man, it's like that little children's movie with the witch. She has the apple, she's like, eat it. It's not for your own good, man. This devil, everything he gets his hand in, a trail of destruction follows him. It says that in Habakkuk 2, he's the border of wickedness.
Right. Yep. And he has the ability because he's a witch. So he has the ability to make something destructive to you look absolutely amazing.
Tastes
To where
good.
you're like, wow,
Packaging well.
this is better. Like the Native Americans, he brought fire water.
Yeah.
They were drinking water out of the creek.
Yeah.
He was able to make them, to get them to think that was better than what they were already drinking.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you give up what you was drinking to get just plastered out of your mind drunk drinking this?
Yeah.
To where now he's taking your whole, Habakkuk too.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go back to.
Yep.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
But he's
yeah.
the top salesman of the earth, man.
He's the top salesman of sin.
Yeah.
All right, that's what the serpent in the garden was able to do. He was able to make that fruit
Yeah.
look good.
It's more subtle.
Right,
It's more subtle than any beast
Right.
of the field, man.
Right,
That's what
right.
it's going into, man.
right. Let me finish this. The morsel which thou hast eaten shall thou vomit up. The righteousness that you were taught, the law, statutes, commandments.
Yep.
If you eat his bread, you're going to vomit up what you had before. All right? And lose thy sweet words. If you follow his way, you lose your way.
Yeah.
That's why the Most High said, drink out your own cisterns.
Right.
You Israelite, you stick to the scriptures, man. Stick to the Lord.
Right.
Still got that Habakkuk.
Yeah. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home.
Went into that. Kamala Harris, the recent example, Kamala Harris going to Uganda.
Put the nigga woman
right?
on the plane.
Go ahead.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death.
This man is as death.
Is
Wherever he goes,
and
the
is
conditions
as
of
death.
death follow him. The conditions of hell follow him. And he has bad credit. If you look at his history, everywhere he's went, everywhere he's been, what does it cause the people of those lands?
Man.
Hurt,
Right.
destruction, losing their way, becoming subservient unto him.
Right. You get baptized. Next thing you know, your land gone. The white man's crazy. He'll just
rock
show
and
up,
ride.
baptize you, and then just kick your ass. It's like, damn.
Hey, go ahead, man.
And is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
He heaping to them all people. Like the example again, Kamala Harris. She really went over there and said, "Y'all gotta get nasty." They heap to themselves all people. Everybody has to be joined into their wickedness. You have something, brother?
Proverbs 5 and 3 in the NLT, it says, for the lips of an immoral woman are sweet as honey, and her mouth are smoother than oil.
Yeah, man. Hey, the women, just like in Revelation, the 14th chapter, talking about the other philosophies, different ways.
Right.
Go ahead, read that again.
God, Proverbs 5 and 3 in the NLT, it says, for the lips of an immoral woman are as sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil.
The elder mentioned it earlier. He can dress it up into a way where it tastes so good, it looks so good to you.
You think you're actually getting help?
You think you're actually getting help. You think you're forwarding yourself. When it's really just destruction. When people take heroin, it feels good when they first take it.
Right.
But down the line, they face start changing.
Right.
They just turn into a complete demon.
That tooth gone.
Their teeth. They just got gums. And that's the people.
Gum your food.
Wait. Got gum, then they still happy.
They got
What the hell you happy with this? What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, until it's too late. So they realize they're too far gone, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 4, it says, but in the end she is as bitter as poison, as dangerous as a double-edged sword. It says her feet, verse 5, her feet go down to death, her steps lead straight to the grave.
Yeah. And what you're seeing is the nations now, they're realizing it, and they're trying to kick the habit. They're like, hold up, no. You have nations like Uganda saying, no, we got to protect our children. They realize what the end of this man's way is. That's why they're saying we have to protect our children.
Right.
Because if we allow this man to push his way,
Right.
we see what it leads to. Look at the whore.
Right.
The skirt is being lifted.
Right.
Man.
His dirty, his silly tricks ain't working no more.
Right.
Verse 6, it says, For she cares nothing about the path to life. She staggers down a crooked trail and does not realize it.
So everyone is realizing that this man's ways lead to death.
Right.
And that's what we're pleading with our people. We're telling, hey man, do you not realize what's going on here? Everybody's not going to repent. We know that.
Right.
But that's what the prophets are set up to do. And here soon, this man is going to have to even roll on us because we're going to become the bane of his existence. It talks about that.
Right.
Those two prophets tormented them day and night, man.
Right.
Pretty soon, we're going to become the enemy.
Yeah. Yep.
See, look, you know why? Because the more Esau goes down, the economy goes down,
Yep.
everything, the elements of his kingdom start going down more and more, the more we go up.
Yep.
And that light is being seen more in this dark place. Right now they see us, but they're like, okay, whatever. Even though they're getting affected, they get mad, whatever. But the more he goes down, the more we're right.
And we seen a preview of that when COVID really, my bad.
COVID hit.
That was
My
that
bad.
exercise.
We seen a preview of that when 2020 happened.
Yeah.
What happened to a lot of brothers' videos and views? Random people start commenting, paying attention to what the prophet was saying.
Right.
A bigger example with the brother in Hawaii when they had that false alarm.
Out in Hawaii, yep.
Right? He had like what 10,000 people tuned in.
Help us! What's going on?
What's going on?
Right.
Where
That-
are you?
like,
Hey.
one and to and fro,
Yeah.
back and forth, trying to see. You see what I'm saying?
I
That's
gotta send
coming
the
on
super
a
chat.
large level.
Hey, but look how they tapped in right when they heard the sirens. They're like Noah. They knew not until the flood came. You go tap in now when you hear the sirens.
Yep.
Too late. It's fucking too late then.
You know how great of a darkness those people are in because those same people that knew where to go look for the truth, what are they doing now?
Because people like to play it safe. Well, just in case, play it safe as people,
They
man.
put off the evil day
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
the seed of wickedness to come near.
That's what they do.
And that wine is destroying everybody, man.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to think. You got children, all right, at a young age having the ability to just chop their rod off. A little boy, as he gets older, a lot of them, they try to suppress it. A lot of them become suicidal, and they're like, damn. It's like, why? I needed that. You can't even jack off.
More people like that. I'm doing
You
interviews.
gonna finger you? What the fuck is that?
And that,
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what are you thinking? That's an agenda in the earth.
that's how.
Horrible.
I'm just
can't even
fucking
jack
around.
off.
But I'm just
It's
saying, like you gonna be nasty. Like, damn, you can't even be nasty the right way.
Be nasty, right?
Like,
Yeah,
what
the
are
right
you doing?
way.
You just pimp. You just
More and more of those people are coming out doing interviews.
Yeah.
More and more of them sitting there, oh, you so with the tissues, crying and shit, telling
Yeah.
their story.
Right, the hair is growing inside. Okay,
That's never happened
It's
until
pus, and when they go to do the number 2, a lot of them are being infected because it's getting in that little what they supposed to have as a VJ.
think about that. You can't even. Every time you eat, you're thinking about, damn, I'm gonna have to shit this out.
Right.
And it's gonna be very painful for me.
I'm gonna have to take the antibiotic, and a lot of the holes are closing up, so they're
Yep,
having to
yep,
use
yep.
you know, bananas and hot dogs and frozen hot links and shit to keep the hole open. This is where we
Nah,
live.
real
at.
shit. That's real.
I'm saying, you know,
I heard some shit. Yeah.
this is happening.
Yeah, hot link. I'm
Some jumbo size hot dogs.
It's like ain't no good hot links since the 90s, right?
That shit gone.
Where we at? But Habakkuk, if you keep reading, it talks about he put his bottle on him, making him naked. Yeah, right. Somebody get that.
Habakkuk.
Yeah, that.
I'm in 2.
15.
You go down to
There
15?
should be a few little scriptures in that.
Yeah.
Habakkuk is, man, that's one of my
Yes.
favorite books right there, man. Go ahead.
Habakkuk 2 and 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink.
Right. So this is describing the final ruler, because Habakkuk asked basically, when you go in all of this, right? Okay, and he said, look, I'm gonna raise up the Chaldeans, which that can be. It was talking about then, but it's speaking of prophetically now. Okay, but in chapter 2, he says, write this down. I'm gonna make it plain, and he pretty much describes the nation that's going to be ruling before he ends it all. Right. Then he gives a vision of how it's going to end in chapter 3. So he's describing what this devil would do. He's like basically in this chapter breaking down the image of the beast.
Yeah.
If you read it. Okay?
Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thou bottle to him, and makest him drunk also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Verse 16,
And that's what they say Bill Cosby did, right?
Yeah.
Well, Esau does it with nations.
On the
Okay,
highest level.
He forced it on them.
He comes to your nation. He shows up, and the Chaldeans did that. But Esau is what? As you read Isaiah 47, daughter of the Chaldeans. So they're doing the same thing, trying to work their magic. Okay, but they go and they give you the bottle, and you drink it, and you gaze upon their naked body. Ain't that like what they say Bill Cosby did?
Yeah.
That's describing. That's what Esau
Esau.
does to the nations.
Yep.
Because nakedness represents without covering, without what? The law,
covering.
statutes, commandments, man. And these nations have their covering, their way, right? It's predicated upon a false god, but there's some semblance of order in the East and in a lot of African countries.
Right.
A lot of it is a tangent off of our ways.
Right.
You look at the people.
Oh, yeah.
It's just they tried to remix what we did.
Right.
Well,
the
look,
ways we were given.
see, the thing about the other nations, if it wasn't no discipline, then they wouldn't need no wine from Babylon. You see, that cup full, they passed that cup because Esau sees little disciplines here and there that are actually valid disciplines.
Right.
Which is why he got to go with the
gotta
wine in the
stop
first
that.
place.
I gotta
Right.
stop the discipline.
He got to stop that shit because discipline is not in line with that nigga.
It brings order.
Right.
For his plan to work, there can't be any discipline. There can't
At
be
all.
any righteous way. He has to tear down
Yes.
any semblance
Anything.
of righteousness.
No right or wrong. Basically,
Right.
he's making it to where there is no wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Do as thou wilt.
Yep.
In NLT, it said, "What sorrows awaits who maketh your neighbor drunk?
Wait, start.
You for Habakkuk 2 and 15 NLT. What sorrows awaits you who maketh their neighbors drunk? You force your cup on them, so you can gloat over their shameful nakedness."
Yeah, man. In Isaiah 14, what's going to be your end? The nations are going to look narrowly upon thee and say, "Is this the man that did make the earth?" You're going to be brought to a very, very low estate. It says it in Isaiah 47 as well, man.
Yep.
Sit in the dust, there is no throne. This man who is liking himself unto the Most High is going to be made like a beast. Very low. Because he is a beast. He lacks order.
Right.
And he has to be taken out of the rulership seat. Like you always say, the Lord going to slap the joystick out of his hand.
Right. That's
And
what Daniel described. Four beasts. They're beasts for a reason.
Bases of men like that, you said.
Right.
And this is a heartwarming secret for us to know that this place actually has an end. Because if you ask any of the modern day Egyptians, they don't think this place will ever be touched. To them, this truly is the land of the free. They can't imagine being somewhere else.
End all be all.
Yeah.
At that point in time.
You ask them, they got 5-year plans, 10-year plans. I'm gonna do this. They still believe in the FRN notes.
Voting.
Man,
Yeah,
people
voting.
just,
They're not seeing the things playing out.
man,
That's
bro.
leading to this domino effect that's going to lead to this place being burnt with fire. But we know.
Right.
Yep.
So that this is a comfort to our souls that this place actually has an end, that our people are going to be in this state forever.
Right. That's a beautiful thing to know.
Verse 16, Habakkuk 2 and 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
Yeah, you're being revealed
Be
right
exposed.
now. It
Yep.
talks about it in Obadiah, man. The leg being made bare, people seeing you for who you really are. It's like the what's that Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They pulled the curtain back at the end. They saw this dude ain't shit.
Right.
That's true.
He fleshed like me.
Yeah, man.
And I'm younger than him.
People are gonna realize, man, you're not who you're talking yourself
Yeah.
up to be. You don't have a monopoly on morality. How about Shem Yahushua has the monopoly on
Yeah,
morality?
he controlled the narrative.
Hey, bro, just to add to your point, like you said, the Wizard of Oz, man. When you look at it, they got a new one called Oz. I'm forgot with James Franco.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying? And like the shit he was doing, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, once in the old when they pulled the curtain back and seen who it was, so all that power that he so-called had,
Yeah.
come to find out it truly wasn't power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it says in 2 Thessalonians, it says those what they call it, those lying wonders, man.
Yeah.
You know, false,
Yep.
pseudo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's something that's truly not power, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's a false power, man.
And really, the power that you have, who gave it to you? The Lord allowed you to be in this position.
Right.
And now he's taking that power back, man.
Right.
We're seeing it little bit by little bit. It's being pulled away from you.
Yeah.
You're in a trick bag.
Right. It said it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
So
Right.
you're here because of prophecy. You're only fulfilling what was written. That's why they're coming with that mark, that charagma, because the Lord, they were created for that purpose. They were created to do that. Everybody's doing what the Heavenly Father set them up to do. And it's beautiful to watch it play out, man. Okay.
Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men,
Ooh, I
and
gotta pull
giveth it
that.
to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. So like what's going into, man, the Most High is in control. He set up Esau, which is the actual base man. Job said he wouldn't even have him sit next to his dogs.
Right.
That's why the nations are going to marvel at Esau in Isaiah 14th chapter, because it's going to be so hard to believe that this base low piece of crap was ever in the complete authority of the whole earth.
Right.
Yep.
That shows the power of Yahweh Shah.
Right.
Got one real quick.
And Esau was he's the one who's going to be ruling in end time prophecy. To all you Christians, Dr. Brown vocab, that's in the Bible. Right. So anybody saying, we're at the end, this got to be the end. Well, prophetically, who's going to be ruling?
Right.
According to the Daniel, the 7th chapter, it's the 4th beast, the revival.
Right.
Okay? Esau is the end of the world.
That's right.
So you Edomites are being identified as the wicked. And that had to happen. Okay? That had to happen according to prophecy, man. This is our job in the story. Right?
Right. Keep going. Habakkuk 2:16. Yeah. Thou art filled with shame for glory.
Right. There's a shame being put upon the image of Edomite supremacy. It's tarnished. It's tainted. It's no longer looked at as heroic, great. Something to. It's being what? There's a tarnishing of your image.
Well, you see that just in the general public when they put TikToks up of Biden putting his hand down a little girl's back.
Right.
All your leaders,
Mocking them.
yeah, all your leaders people are looking at them like these motherfuckers are creepy,
Yeah. Right.
and you are.
So now it's Edomite's turn to be disgraced now.
Right.
No? Thou art filled with shame for glory. Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art also, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
Shameful spewing on your glory. And that's what we're witnessing, man. And that's why they're now trying to gain control of the narrative all over. Nobody believes in Edomite media no more. Everybody's going to alternative media and different websites where average everyday Americans, whether they got a little money or broke as hell, are putting together channels and exposing every goddamn thing.
Right.
There's a shameful spewing on you.
That's why I said the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee.
Right.
This sit right here. This not come from the Lord left hand side. This is the right hand side of the Lord by the words coming out speaking against this damn man.
Right. And they threw an egg at King Charles. You a king and they throwing eggs at you, dog?
Zero respect.
That's shameful
Oh, man,
spewing
that's-
on your glory. Because
Right.
everything you got was gotten by what? Ill-gotten gain.
Yep.
Somebody get that because of Sirach, the 10th chapter?
10 and 8.
Yeah. So this whole thing is describing you Edomites. And see, no matter how many people come up against this word and how hard y'all try, all of this is true. All of this is going to come to pass. And it is happening.
It's coming right. Yep.
I got it.
It's like-
Sirach 10 and 8. It reads, because of unrighteous dealings,
Right.
injuries, and riches got by deceit.
Unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. That's America.
Yeah.
That's Babylon in a nutshell. That's the whole beast system. Okay? All of the French, the Spanish, the British. Okay? That's what Esau did. That's what the Greeks did.
Yep.
That was his blessing. That shows you who Esau is. He did everything by that blessing that was given to him by Isaac. He completely kicked the earth ass with the power of the sword and dominated everything and stole it.
Oh, yeah.
That completely links up in the spirit who that is. Right.
That proved the Lord set him up to take him down, to show his glory. I'll
Like
put you in rulership. At my counsel come understanding and wisdom, I'll put kings in their places. That's in Proverbs chapter 8. Yep.
Again for the top. Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people and dwelleth righteousness. And we know, man, that this man is ruling in the most wicked way that you can rule.
Man, bro.
He's following none of the guidelines that the Lord set up for us to rule in righteousness. if somebody could get Nahum 3 and 5. Oh, you got it? Go ahead.
If I say this real quick, that happens to every nation. It even happens to
Look at
nations.
Nahum 3.
Now, King Solomon didn't get riches by deceit, but he eventually had unrighteous dealings, and the kingdom was rent after 40 years. The kingdom was rent, and then eventually we went to slavery. Then it was succession. The kingdom's being taken down for unrighteous dealings, and these Americans don't look any different.
Well, I believe he did tax the hell out of Israel. He started going, you know, and then Rehoboam came and continued it. Like, if you thought my father was hard on you,
Oh yeah.
he came against the 10 tribes.
I forgot about that. Ooh, that's man. Yeah.
Right, Solomon's son, he was tripping. That's what since then the tribe's been broke up. Since that point on, the northern kings was like, fuck y'all, man. But you got it.
Bond, you had something? You were saying something about?
No. It's gonna link up there. You got it. Can you see it?
No, I see. Nahum chapter 3, I started at verse 4.
Oh.
Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the west, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft.
What have we been going into, man? What are we going into? Who fits this? Man, when you read the Bible, the Lord gives you all these clues to identify the characters in the movie. People just read it. No, this is talking about somebody. Go ahead.
That one, America is a well-favored home.
Right. Now, this is speaking of Nineveh, right?
Yeah.
But in spirit, it's talking about Babylon. Now,
Yeah.
the beauty of this time, when Nahum was prophesying, and this message came out, because remember at the time of Jonah, he wanted it didn't fall till years later. Right. I believe hundreds of years later.
Yeah, way after.
Yeah. And at the time of Nahum, it fell. But don't you know the leader at that time, the ruler of the Nineveh, was a cross-dresser?
No, I didn't know.
I think
He
you
was a
meant-
cross-dresser. At that time, all right, his name was Sardanapalus, and he was known for putting on female clothes. So that was a vibration at that time, as Nahum was prophesying, and women were just being hoes. It was required that women, all right, pretty much would have to go and have an orgy ran on them in particular temples, all right, in order to reach womanhood. At that time, that in Babylon it was like that. But you would have to do that in order. So it was like a wicked vibration. Are not we witnessing that right now?
Man,
The TRAN vibration on the earth, and as far as the women having to go to the temple for the orgy, what is it told to our girls before they become a woman that they have to do?
I don't have the Bible.
They gotta go date.
Okay. Oh,
You gotta play the field.
No,
Dating
no,
is
I
not
just
a
go do
custom
it.
of our people, man.
Right.
You don't have recreational sex to become a
Oh.
woman.
College. And anyone who's ever been to college, you know how it goes down.
Shit, I was there.
Yeah. You know? So that's what they did that's what they did. Trains ran on them and all that type of stuff. They called
Yeah, I'm
flip.
saying,
Bro, I didn't even
Look
know.
at this.
I'm Salaki, bro. I didn't. That wasn't a thing where I was from like that. I guess it probably was happening, but I got to college, and it was like a culture shock. That was my first time knowing so-called black men were gay. I thought that was a white boy thing.
You see this right here?
San Francisco was up.
This is crazy, man.
So I thought that was just
King
something.
of the Syrians was effeminate, used to dress himself in females' clothing. There's nothing new under the sun, like the Bible says, man.
So Mo's just walking around in packs, Jake. Okay, but then there was this culture, she a runner. Like, they was just running trains on mad, like a chick, you'll see her in class. That's
Yep.
the bitch they was running.
Lined up. Man.
And sports teams passing chicks around and all types of crazy stuff.
Now, when we talk about idol worship, that's tied to an idol. That
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
behavior, all of the stuff that goes on in the world, the evil, even the baby deletions, all right, the fetus delete. That's all attributed to idols. People think idol worship is somebody just sitting in front of a statue.
That's it.
The statue is sitting there. No, idols are behavior.
And they have a show called American Gods, where they illustrate it. They actually go through. They talk about Astro, Ishtar. They talk about all these different deities, and then they show you how in modern times how the worship of these deities has evolved.
Okay, it's called. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
You gotta send that.
Yeah, I'm gonna show
Oh,
you.
you see
It's a dope show. A lot of lessons to come from. They even there's a god that's worshipped on there where she's like But she's basically a harlot, and they worship her. And they go through how like Tinder and all these sites are like likened unto a woman, you know, just doing the recreational sex, having the sex with all these men before she becomes a woman.
Man, okay.
And
I ain't.
yeah, they show you how the media and how news, how spinning stories derive from witchcraft. It's a dope show, man. It's called American Gods, man. Look it up.
Check that out tonight,
But
Lord willing.
idol worship is tied to a behavior. And the behavior of all these people is tied to different gods, man. You're adulterers and adulteresses, man.
Right.
I got something for you. Wisdom of Solomon 14:12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life.
Yeah, man. All the way back to the garden. There's another way. That's what he was telling you.
Right,
You can
exactly.
do this.
Yep.
There's another way. That's the beginning of death. And now we're seeing what the full circle, what the end of death looks like, man.
Right.
We're clinging unto all the idol worship. We're clinging unto another way, what it leads to.
Right.
You know, and it makes our soul ache.
Right.
All right?
No. I was gonna say, and Esau's using women to push it through more and more on this time. His sidekick. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows that men love women. So if you can get the women to do what Eve did and continue to
You can
follow the
weaponize.
serpent, then you can keep the man going in circles, mad, angry,
Right.
a simp.
Right.
Before you know it, he has no purpose. He ain't looking for no truth.
Right.
He's just following this motherfucker around.
Right. So really, the woman being wicked is hella dangerous. But what's even more dangerous
Very dangerous.
is the man
Right.
losing his position.
Yeah.
The man not being in his right mind.
Right.
Because there's no correction.
Right.
Fits.
He said, okay, well, I'll eat it too. I'll do it. Oh, yeah, I'll be a thug. Yeah. Skip.
When a man doesn't have that order, he's open to any attack.
Yeah.
Spiritually, that's what the elder is going into.
absolutely.
When we don't have the order, look what was able to become upon us. You want to get to that woman. A woman, men love women. We actually love women. When a man comes up and has wealth and substance, his thought is then what? Now I can take care of my family.
Yeah, please, I can please her. I can do this.
Right.
I can change. I don't worry about nothing in her
Right.
life.
Right.
But you can't do that now because these women minds, like you said, snares and bands. It's a
Yeah.
trap.
I got a
Esau
mind.
knows that.
Yeah.
So he
Go to the
pushes
park.
them in the forefront
just type
to
in
put
no
man
head.
into a trap.
To put him
And
into
once
a
the man
trap.
is in that trap, he has no strength. He has no balls. The ball's in a Louis Vuitton purse, and he balled like a simp. And now
Right.
guess what? He just stays on top, and he can manipulate everybody.
Right.
That's why feminism is always, even in ancient Rome, all these different places,
Yeah.
was always a priority. Because you could get the women to be under a certain vibration, and then they'll follow.
Absolutely.
Let him read this for you.
Okay.
No, damn, what was it? Okay. Sirach 36:25. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Damn. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. Wow.
Ain't no wives here.
So you don't got the hedge of the Lord upon.
But sometimes, bro,
36
we,
and 25.
like we, you know, sometimes we got a
10,
strong
10.
spirit on. But sometimes
36
you
and
be like,
25.
damn,
Right.
need some soft legs.
It's normal.
It's in our coding.
Right, but we're living in a time where half of the men don't fit the criteria. He may be 5'8", he got to be 5'10". So a lot of men are walking around here just getting rejected.
Yeah, losing their mind.
And that shit, they be through.
Bro,
you know,
suicide of men is at a high rate.
Source protection.
Okay? When you go to, if you work in the hospital field and ask those man patients come in, all these stories of why they got there behind the woman.
Yeah.
Literally, when you read that through her we all died, bro, that's no joke. All different elements of life. If you talk to people and have these different experiences, you say, damn, so most of those graves over there are behind a woman?
Yes.
It's unbelievable, bro.
Right, they've
It's true.
weaponized them. They've misplaced them. That shows you the power of a woman.
Right. Yep.
See, that energy is supposed to be used in a household,
Right.
to forward a family, not to be in the earth, gathering the bride, okay, with beer on her breath.
Man.
A Newport.
Smell like a goddamn Jack Daniels. and
Yeah.
shit.
Could you read that again, Spawn?
Sirach 36:25. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
Yeah, liken it to a city. You can get the defenses to be lowered, you can attack it. The man is
Yeah.
the defense. And how do you weaken a man?
That's
Through a
defense.
woman.
because he's not focused to fight.
Right.
He's focused on her. And that's what they do. Man. I'm telling you, man. That's King, you know, because when you read the stories, and yeah, King David sin what he did was messed up, but women used to stop men like, whoa, like man, like there's nothing more a man loved than a woman. The Lord knows that. But he created that for the purpose of order to help us for that feeling that
We're
we
seeing
get
the left
and that
hand
vibe that we get to help us. You throw that off,
Yeah, it's
and
right.
you add oppression to it and suffering to man. You need your how about you have a shot just about that.
Yeah. He said,
At the end of the day.
he said a woman shall compass the man. So Esau used that, put her in the power seat. Put her in the driver's seat.
It's horrible.
Now
And
she-
it hasn't worked.
hasn't worked.
No.
This is an experiment. If you call this an experiment from the time of when the woman got in this position
Yeah.
and the man being out of his position, and you look at the result of the experiment, look at it.
Oh man, it's
This is crazy. This is madness.
hey, this bitch got in the driver's seat to hit reverse. She mashing gas to go
And now
reverse.
she has multiple. She got a man.
Come on.
She got a side piece.
Yeah, she got a side piece. She got one to take out dinner, one to lay the pipe, one to fix things, one to watch the kids. She got all that, but the man's supposed to have multiple ways like that.
Right.
This
right.
shows you we got to be in order. You know, the man needs to. Now that's what we're witnessing. As the scriptures say, it's like it's good that you have afflicted me. Now I know and understand your laws.
Right,
That's in the
right.
book of Psalms 1:9. So now we see the end result of going off. We're like, oh nah. Now you know why it's so strict in the Bible about this law.
Yes.
And you should change your way you think.
Through experience.
That's the-
This
right.
is the process of us knowing both sides, good and evil, being as gods.
Now, it's a good point you made because those certain laws, if you just imagine it in effect, you say, damn, that would make
It's
a big
unfair.
difference. Even one law would make a huge difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Let alone all the laws. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
You
right.
add that together,
Right.
that changes life completely.
Right.
Yes.
Because people will think that's unfair. My mom, my dad and mom is gonna pick my husband. Well, it went that way with the wife too sometimes. Jacob, they went and got him a wife.
Right.
Okay, that's a custom of the East. But if you put that here, that would alleviate a lot of madness.
Man.
Man, bro, it'll
With
cut the
all
adultery rate down to a.
all the children without fathers gone.
Yeah.
All right. So now you're just that thing
That's that one
fixes
thing.
families. the spreading of all these STDs
Right.
Deaths from
drops dramatically.
Right.
Deaths drop dramatically because when men are not there trying to fuck with another man,
Get mad and
it
shit.
drops
And
adultery
when they are,
dramatically.
women
Right,
are
yeah,
used
yeah.
to carry diseases too,
Right.
because of their internal organ.
Right.
A lot of diseases are stored in them. So when they're out of order and they're going and dealing with him and him and him, that's how a lot of diseases spread.
Right.
Makes sense because it's an open wound. It make you. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a woo.
So, like you said, Juan, that just implementing one law
It's one.
fixes multiple problems.
Right.
And the Lord, and like the elder said, the Lord wants us to see that.
Yeah.
So we can look at the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay?
And understand.
And stop moping that we suffer and just look at the bigger picture of what he's doing overall. It's like, whoa. Then we can start visualizing us getting the crown and actually changing this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With Yahweh Shai, you know?
Yep.
You still got naked?
Could I just read this, bro? I'm sorry.
Okay, go.
Psalms. Hey, Nahum, like, damn, what about me? Psalms 119 and 71. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes.
There you go. Yeah, on point.
Wow.
Man.
So this was for us to learn
Yeah,
and
the whole
understand.
time.
That's why the Lord wanted it this way. When you read the law, of course, we can't see these things operating and played out in our life. There's certain things we read. We've never seen that. We ain't never seen somebody stoned
Right.
for being a badass, child.
Right.
But looking at the world and where we're at now, we read that law. It's like, I get it. It's just that, but we could do that to Ronell.
Man,
You know?
bro, look. You think about it. The stoning law, right? Now that stoning law, because that ain't there, now these rebellious kids grow up to be what?
Right.
Criminals and doing all kinds of shit, which creates chaos. But if that law was there, it then wouldn't happen because the fear, see, the earth got to be in fear of the consequences of doing wickedness and doing wrong, and they're not.
Well, even if you just implement that first law we talked about, the parents picking the spouse,
Yeah.
right? The percentages came out. 80% of people that are in prisons come from single parent homes
Right.
with mothers. They said that number drops by 75% if the father is present. And the number stays the same even if it's a single father.
Right.
So just the father being in the kids' lives.
Right. And if what if the father feared the Lord?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
That's 7,000%.
Goddamn.
That's 700%.
Come on, man.
Now you cooking with
Now
grease.
you
Right
cooking
Yep. Straight up, right? So the law, this experience as Israelites, like you gotta psych yourself out, man. Get into when you read the laws, don't get like certain things that maybe make you queasy. You gotta be able to like be at one with the Lord. Like I get it.
Right.
Now I get it. Even the law on how to handle grape.
Right.
If that was implemented,
Man.
first of all, men
Yep.
wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Men would be like, okay, so I'm gonna be responsible for this woman.
Right.
You know what?
Yep.
I'm not even gonna do it. I'm gonna just figure it out
Yeah.
because
Right, you're being smart.
there's a consequence to that
Right.
that may ruin you and affect your daily life.
Your life, it's a lifelong consequence.
Right. Yeah, you got to take care of it.
Lifelong consequence.
Is she that bad?
Right. Is it worth it?
Is she worth it? Yeah.
Right. So men will be like, you know what? I'm not now a guy with a bunch of money and he's got his eyes on. That can happen.
Yeah.
You can
But
take care
hey,
of
at least from the union,
It's still a
it
family.
may be unfair circumstances, but the union at least, a family is formed.
Right.
She can get over that shit in 20 years, 5 years.
You got a counsel.
I
and
love you,
sit-
Harold.
If the earth is under the vibration of Yahweh Shem Shah, she'll realize, like, you know what?
Right.
The Lord, you know, He had this to where it happens, man.
This is how it happened for me.
Right.
Because
You know what I
you
mean?
got women now that'll get raped and get pregnant and keep the baby, or have a train run on and get pregnant and keep and it's
don't
just
know.
complete disorder.
Right.
And those women usually become super harlots.
Right, and they don't have fathers in the house a lot.
Right.
You know, and then look, a society wasn't built for single parents. It wasn't built to have no single parents around,
that's
man.
wicked.
That's wicked, bro. It's not, man. It's crazy, bro.
Now, you know why? Because both sides bring something to the table that the Lord created within women and men to nurture a child, to bring a child up. It has to
Right.
be both sides.
And the family, period. You need a family too.
society
It takes
wasn't
a
built-
village really to raise a child.
Right.
Because you have to have people who you trust to watch their morals to watch your child.
Right.
And where you fall and where you may be tired, there's always the uncle. All right. And the uncle got kids.
Right.
Oh, play with them. You
Right.
know.
It's always yes.
So
Calm
family
down.
structure alleviates a lot of wickedness and disorder and hell.
Facts. That's right.
It's trampled
Bastards
upon
don't
here.
even see it.
Again, the family structure is a guardrail from death. The laws, the instructions from the Lord, it's not a box. It's a guardrail from death, and we can see that now. Right? We can go to anybody got anything else?
Can I just read that what the elder read in the NLT?
Go ahead.
This is Psalms 119 and verse 71 in the NLT. It reads, "My suffering was good for me, for it taught me to pay attention to your decrees." You know what I'm saying? That's, hey, bro.
That's epic.
That's
Yeah.
the point.
That's clear as day. You know what the elder was broke down a second ago, man. You know, okay, that says it plain and clear, man.
She
You
gonna
know,
wake your
we,
ass
we
up.
tired of the ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? So hey, now we're in a time of paying attention to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, man.
Right,
You know?
right.
And that time Dave Chappelle got hit, that little skit, he was up there, he got hit with the whip, he turned around like, God damn, man.
Exactly.
Lord whipped our ass. We like, okay, Lord, shit,
I got
I'm
it.
sorry.
Hey, like,
I'm sorry for the great
No more
offense.
smoke.
That's right on the nose, man.
Bro. That's heavy.
Back in Nahum chapter 3, I started verse 4 again. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot.
We know who that well-favored harlot is. We broke it down how, America's that well-favored harlot. This is talking about Nineveh, but it's likened unto Babylon the Great, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Because America takes on all those past kingdoms, all the gods, all the ideologies. It's all rolled into one kingdom here in America.
America is the dream team of wickedness.
Right.
All right, all the features that these past kingdoms had, America does it, but it got on that Olympic jersey. All right. Go
With
ahead.
666 on that one.
Right. The mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft.
And we've been talking about that.
Yeah, that's what we've been
When you
doing.
when that word sell, it means to buy one over to your way.
Yeah.
You sell nations through your whoredom.
Yeah.
you get them to come over to your way. And the dollar is one of the main ways these nations commit fornication. But then once they start taking on the customs, oh boy.
And that's why things are about to go haywire here, because now nations are trying to reject that dollar.
Yeah.
That's the glue that keeps America kind of, in dominance.
power seat.
That
Yep.
dollar.
Yep.
That dollar is the lubrication.
Proof of that, proof of that is why Saddam got took the hell.
Yeah.
Why Gaddafi got took, they were playing.
They were trying to go to a gold standard.
Right. So yeah, so what you saying?
And
Absolutely.
the dollar, people, we talk about the dollar dying and this in these nations, but it's gonna take something catastrophic to get around that dollar.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna be
It
some
has to be
dramatic.
something like
Yes.
drastic, world changing.
And when that happens, all of these, everybody's gonna suffer.
Yep, at the
It's
same
not gonna
time.
be just, they ain't gonna just pop up with a new system and everything's all fine and
Right.
dandy for them either. It's gonna be a struggle, man.
Yo, if they get it in place, then they're gonna be ready to go for it. They might put a plug, cut all the lights off in this bitch.
You ain't lying for 5 days straight.
Yeah, 5 days straight,
Yeah.
and then hit the reset
That's the type
button.
of shit that's coming.
Yeah.
5 days of darkness.
Yeah, dark. They're gonna change.
A fourth of the population in 5 days will be dead.
Right.
If that was the case.
Yeah.
They messed up.
5 days of darkness.
People start raiding, and Esau gonna do a lot of wickedness.
Yeah.
He can do shit bad.
Yeah,
he can
true.
kill. He can take out a lot of people. 3 days of darkness.
Right.
Oh, boy,
Esau got
go
but-
crazy.
but-
Come
'cause
through.
these things
He got
really
night
come to
vision.
pass.
Oh yeah, he finna run.
Esau has plans, I guarantee
He
you,
ready.
to
Snapping your
afford
ass
the
out.
death during those times.
Right.
yeah.
That's why we say to you, Jakes, with the guns and that, and boasting in it and walking around with it. Esau is like, yes.
Right. That's
See,
his thing.
this
That's
is
his
what
thing.
he's scared of right here.
Yeah,
But the gun, nigga, Esau is like, nigga, really? Okay. Come
Esau
on.
Let's do it. 5 times.
I got a gat too.
Flip 5 times. Right here. Right here.
Yeah, because that's his arena.
He said, I
That's
gave
what he
you
do.
the gat.
That's his blessing, man. The same way you can dribble a basketball just easy, just effortless. Killing and that sword, that's Esau's realm.
Right.
He the Michael Jordan of just off the niggas.
Right.
It's second nature.
Right.
So, verse 5, Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face.
So
We've
he's
been
being
talking about-
revealed. We also
Huh?
were talking about this devil
Oh, he
being
gross.
revealed for who he is.
Thank you, man.
We talked about the Wizard of Oz and that curtain being pulled back. And people being, look at this low life. He's not as powerful as you think he is. All right, and the thing is, we're a threat because we know that. We know the only reason he's in his position is because our power put him in that position.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now he's against you because now you serve your purpose. Because you thought he was with you because you hadn't been punishing. And that was to put you to sleep.
What's that? That's my he favors our enterprise. It's Elder Gabar always goes into it.
Oh, I knew it.
Yeah, on the dollar. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Nouveau Coeptus.
Yep.
Nouveau Coeptus.
That's what they think.
the
They think
Latin.
the Lord is with them.
Yeah.
They
Right,
literally
right.
put that on the dollar.
These
Now
niggas
they want to do
wicked.
away with the dollar. Like, they put it on the dollar. The gods have granted us permission to bring about our new secular order, our new world. And now we got to do away with the dollar. Nigga, they told you, they was telling you the whole time.
And I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Everybody is seeing you for what you really are. And that's why a nation like Uganda is like, screw you. We're not going to drink your wine. We're going to protect our children from your ways of death. All right?
And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee a vile, and will make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock.
Yeah, so let's get Isaiah the 14th chapter. Because you're going to be brought low, man. You're in this powerful seat. You likened yourself unto the Most High. Your symbol is the eagle, the bird that soars over all the animals and looks down. You think yourself in this higher state, but really we're gonna see you for what you really are in the end.
Yep.
Also, somebody get First Maccabees 2, like 60.
2 and 60.
Somebody got Isaiah 14, like 10.
You got Isaiah 14?
I got First Maccabees.
Con, I got it. You want to, verse 12, how is thou fallen?
Start a good place. Whatever.
Yeah, I started verse
1.
12.
People started at 1.
I started talking.
No, I'm just playing.
No, good. We got the point where they summarily look upon you.
Yep.
That's the point.
Okay, con. Let's see. Yeah, I just started verse 12. Isaiah, this is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. It reads, How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer,
All right, they're
son of the
enlightened.
morning.
Oh, Lucifer, they're enlightened on the left-hand side, man. light bearers, right? They've been enlightened in wickedness. It's clear. Look at all the wickedness they poured in the earth. But you have the illuminated on the right hand side, which would be the Lord's men. Okay, but this man he's fall. We're seeing his fall incrementally right now before our very eyes, man. And we've been prophesying about it. Our teachers and elders from our business till now have been going into it, man. And then we're finally seeing it play out in a major way. This is a privilege to actually see it. Go ahead.
Which is a blessed thing, if I can add.
Yeah.
You know, the scriptures say that. Blessed is a man, roughly paraphrasing, blessed is the man that's able to enjoy his children and see the downfall of his enemies, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what comes with Tobit.
Yeah.
Back in Isaiah 14, it says, How art thou cut down to the ground which didst weaken the nations?
And this devil is weakening that. We've been going into it this whole time. Through his dollar, through his philosophies, through his economic hitman. Right? He's the one that's weakening the nations. Not Japheth. Alright? You still got Israelites. I've seen a clip today. A dude trying to argue that Esau ain't the so-called white man.
Right.
Niggas is stupid. We're in the fourth quarter, man. You talking about Esau, the so-called white man?
Right.
Dumbass niggas.
Right. Right. Nowhere you can't find prophecy with Japheth. Right.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Nah.
Go ahead. You, for you to say that, you must want our people to get caught up in the scourges.
Right. Because if this ain't the end, and if this ain't Esau, we fucked. We gotta, shit, according to Daniel, there will be an end to our captivity.
Right.
The nation's ruling. So at what point does it end? So you mean to tell me if Esau ain't ruling, then we ain't at the end?
Right. So why we out here then?
So
That'd be like,
right, there's another captivity. So if this ain't Esau, we got a whole nother, because Esau is the end of the world.
Yeah, y'all just love the white man, man. That's it.
Yeah. And they do that, they say that because of Ashkenaz.
Yeah, Ashkenaz.
But
AJ.
wait a minute, Ashkenaz comes from the seed of Japheth, right?
Yeah.
So they're Shemitic and Japhetic at the same time? They're not claiming to be Ashkenaz. Right. They're not claiming to be Japhetic. They're claiming, look, my forefathers migrated from Germany, which they say is the original land of Ashkenaz, which, could be debated. But they're saying our forefathers were Jews who came from this area, all right, and migrated to eventually return to the Holy Land. They're not saying we're Japhetic. They're saying we're Jews.
So y'all using that point to argue that you're reaching. You can't back it up with prophecy.
Right. Right. Japheth is nowhere in end time prophecy.
right, nowhere close.
See, people can talk all of this DNA and this and that and try to, but when you go into the prophecies, that's the answer.
Yes, yep.
And if it don't line up, hey,
It don't fit.
yeah, you through.
If it don't fit, you must have quit.
There's no light in you.
That's right.
You know, prophecy trumps everything, man.
Yep.
Prophecy does.
That's
And
it.
that DNA stuff is BS anyway. There's a specific way the Lord determines lineage. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
Come back in Isaiah 14, verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
And then what did he make on what in 2018? Was it 2019 or 2018? Space Force?
The sixth division of the military.
Six. And he can't go past the Van Allen belt.
Nope.
They talking about these so-called UFOs that they spotted and they shot one down. Da, da, da. Come on, man.
Bro, this nigga took a video on the moon.
With a green screen.
Like, this nigga was on the moon. Stop, bro.
Right. This nigga was on in the
It's like, just stop, bro. The so-called white man, he's boasting and just being like, God. Like, this nigga is crazy. Yeah, we've been to the moon, but we ain't been back since.
They showed the video, and this guy broke it down.
But then technology got better though.
This guy broke the video, the moon landing video down that does cinematography. And he says you can see, look, he was showing how the movements were unnatural. He was like, yo, this is clearly this man
Flag
has a
was
harness on.
straight.
He said this is the movement of a harness.
Right.
This wouldn't
Yeah,
be
bro.
that and zero gravity. These are unnatural movements. He said, look at the dust when it gets kicked up. He's like, yeah, he's like,
Flag, boy, how the flag? That motherfucker stiff.
and they haven't went back.
Bro, that nigga was up the street from Wingstop in the studio. And
You
it's
tell
Real
me-
shit.
you think this nigga on the moon?
They got pictures of the, they got pictures of the footprint of the nigga boot.
Yeah, I was gonna
make that
Then they got the boot in the fucking museum and the
Right.
footprint, the boot footprint don't even match the fucking picture.
Right.
These niggas just making shit up.
Hey,
The moon landing is Disneyland.
when that king is a child, man, this motherfucker's a child, man. He's a child in rulership.
Finally celebrate this, yo.
Come
Big
on, man.
smash boots. Slack it, brother. Go ahead.
I'm sorry,
Come on, back in Isaiah 14, at the end of verse 13, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation of in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
And that's Israel. He's going to sit on the congregation in the sides of the north. That's why at boasting, us being delivered from the land of the north.
Yeah.
Over here was the true conquering of Israel, here in Babylon the Great. Like, he got us here.
Right.
Physically, mentally, spiritually. We've been screwed. That's why it's divine intervention that we woken up to who we are, man.
Right. Right.
Because ain't no way without the Lord stepping in, we get to this point of having this understanding.
That nigga used to literally sit on Jacob. He used to use you
Right.
as a chair.
They got pictures of it.
Yep.
And like you go to old backwood towns in Florida, like those redneck Everglade towns, you can still get those old postcards with the babies
30 minutes ago.
being used alligator bait. The Edomite sitting in his rocking chair and got his foot on little Jake. You can still get some of those those bigot postcards in some
Still-
small towns.
still boasting,
Those old
boy.
sundown towns.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. You definitely find it in those.
Go ahead.
Back in Isaiah 14, at the end of verse 14, I will be like the Most High, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
Yeah, this is how you're going to be viewed upon the establishment of the kingdom of heaven. Especially generations down the line after 2/3 start to come back. They going to be like, this nigga?
Right.
The other nations, they're going to be like, he was over us?
Right.
How? It's going to be unthinkable.
Right.
And it's only going to be testament to how great the Lord is.
Yep.
And he was able to take that low vessel and put him up above us.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Right. See that whole situation shows the Lord, like you say, it shows the Lord's power.
Yeah.
Then they gonna know it was him, but it wasn't him.
Yeah.
In other words, you were just used for that reason. You know, even when you read Ezekiel, it talks about the heathen shall know that I brought them into captivity because you trespassed against me.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody gonna know it was just over Israel, and the Lord's been angry with us.
That's in
It had
Ezekiel.
nothing to do with Esau's power in his own
Ezekiel.
hand.
Oh man.
Apple of his eye.
Right. God.
They're going to know it wasn't because he was great.
Right.
It was because the father was
Because-
bad with his kids.
Right.
Simple as that.
That's it. It
That's
speaks
all
about
it
that
was.
in Ezekiel
Yep,
too.
yep.
36.
You don't hold
35.
any importance. You're not this cool guy.
It's nothing.
You know, you're not who you think you are, man. All right. Somebody got that first Maccabees 2?
First Maccabees 2:60. Daniel, for his innocence, was delivered from the mouth of the lions.
Yeah. So it goes through all the examples of the man
Yeah, we go- yeah.
walking in faith, and their reward for walking in faith. There's a whole list starting from 50 on down.
Starting- Yeah, yeah.
Mattathiah speaking,
I
right?
believe
Judas
so.
Maccabee's father.
Yes.
Yeah.
To jump back up and read that first part.
That's why I said
50 real quick.
that's why
then we'll
it's
jump back down to
51. First Maccabees 2:51. Well, now 50. Now therefore, my sons, be zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
So give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. The Lord's way takes precedence in a man's life. This is how he discerns right from wrong, how he moves. This is our being, and that's a tip for people that are new. Nothing should take priority over the instructions, over the way that the Lord told us to walk in. But go ahead.
Verse 51, call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name.
So because they walked in faith,
That's
right?
what, yeah.
They receive it. They've been written as an example for our learning in this time. There's not a situation that you will encounter in this life that you can't go to and see, oh, look at how this man, the Lord, dealt with this adversity.
And that's why it says, blessed get that reading, because you'll find out that information.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
I'm going to
now
60.
You can jump down to 60.
Verse 60, 1 Maccabees 2 and 60.
61.
Then 61. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
So we're putting our trust in the Lord, and we have full confidence that we're not going to be overcome by this wicked man. Even though he has power on this side.
Yep.
But it's not able to stand against the power of Yahweh Shah. Okay, go ahead.
Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms.
So we're not fearing the words of this simple man, because it's going to come to a point where things get real draconian out here.
Man.
Where anybody who is speaking against his way or his decrees, all right, they're going to be called a treasonous. Go ahead.
Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned unto his dust.
Wait a minute. Why ain't he in hell?
Right?
That's
Yeah, that's a good point.
This is talking about an evil, wicked man.
Yeah.
Go return to his dust.
He
Yep.
gonna return to his dust, and his spirit gonna return to the Father.
Come on,
Man.
Just like everybody else.
Right. And his thought is to come to nothing.
Yeah, so your thoughts become to nothing. People gonna narrowly look upon you, sit in the dust, there is no throne. We know what your end is. So we're able to sit here in great boldness, like it talks in Wisdom of Solomon.
Wow, we
chapter.
got to get back to
Get that. We're able to sit here in this great boldness and speak the prophecies with confidence, because we know how all this plays out.
That's right. That's right, bro.
Now we know that we have to go through the adversity, but hey, we still have that faith that we're going to be protected throughout the midst of that.
5-10 minutes.
Because we've been given the formula, Zephaniah 2 and 3, seek righteousness, seek meekness, so that you may be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
Yeah.
Who's doing that? Who's seeking righteousness and seeking meekness so they can be hid? The number gets really small, man. I believe I'm standing amongst some of the men that were before the foundations of the earth. All right? Go ahead.
Wherefore ye, my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall ye obtain glory.
Following after the will of the Lord, that's how you show yourself a man. If you're wondering, if you just learning this truth, you realize you've been lied to, and you're trying to figure out how to be a man, following after his will. All right? Taking on the mind of the Lord. That's how you come into manhood. Wisdom of Solomon 5.
Con, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
And you witnessing that all over the world. Look how beautiful the Lord is. Back during the Passover, Elder Raleigh, he showed me all the live streams that were going on at that time.
Man.
All over the world. Different languages. You even had a camp in the Holland camp, the deaf camp. They were going live.
Yep.
People that can't hear.
And the
Think
way
about
around
that,
it.
man. The Lord is doing something.
Right. He's covering all bases.
His line is going out throughout all the earth. You're seeing it right now.
Yep.
And it's happening in boldness, man. Go ahead, brother.
Con, it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Who has afflicted the nation of Israel? Who's the main adversary of the nation? Yeah, all the nations go to Psalms 83. But who's the main one? Esau, Edom, man. The very person, like the elder mentioned, was supposed to be ruling in the end.
Issa.
All right? Go ahead.
And made no account of his labors. Keep
Go
going.
ahead.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Yeah, the deliverance. Because we're talking about, we know what the end is. We know how this devil's going to fall. We know how we're going to be taken out of the way when he really puts the cherry on top, of the destruction of this kingdom. The chariots are going to be a deliverance unto us. And the crazy thing is, man, maybe, in the early thousands or the 90s, if you would have made the statement that UFOs are a real thing back then, how big of an effect would it have had on people back then? Would they had a bigger attention span?
Right.
It would have been something that was life-changing all over the world. But this devil just mentions it now, and nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gives a shit.
They got right back on TikTok.
Right. Dipping the wing in the sauce and shit.
They're like the ranch put it down their elbow.
Right. They just don't get ranch everywhere. They don't give a fuck, bro. These people are through. You would think the world would be like, oh shit, wait a minute. Something in the sky? Like,
Right.
what were you
They look
talking
for
about?
answers. It's true.
It's like the next phase just went.
Right.
Yeah, that's the testament to the gross darkness that the people are in.
Bro.
NASA, right, came out and told you, yeah, there's vessels that we don't know what they are.
Right.
And the men of the Lord had the answers to what those things are. But these people, in my mind, when that was made public, I was like, oh, people are definitely gonna like ask questions and want to know.
Let's go stump him. Let's go get him.
Let's go get him. And, boy, was I wrong.
Nigga created another profile. He already on the website. I'm gonna make another one. Like, damn.
Nobody gave a damn, man. But you know when they gonna give a damn? When they can't eat.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me say this. Going back to the power of the Lord,
Right.
that proves he's blinded. That proves that there's angels blind. That's proof. Because that should alert you.
Yeah.
That shows the Lord is in control, man. He wants them not to rest. So he wants them to be so distracted to the point when he comes, it's a real thief in the night.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though that was told, even though it was extra information, even though the government said, okay, yeah, they exist. Even before but years ago, they used to follow us talking shit about all the UFOs, aliens. The
Yeah.
government come out now, they ain't got nothing to say.
They just act like it didn't happen. It really baffled me when it happened. I said, nobody cares?
Yeah, it shows you what time it is.
Huh.
But I know. They gonna pay attention when they actually crack the skies and they actually hear the city. Right. More sights and all that. By then, it's too late. It's like when Noah had the ark built. It was too late by then. Time of grace was over.
Man.
The elect is sealed.
Right.
Kind of finishing it out, well, I'll start it again. Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they look for.
So far beyond all that they look for. We've been telling you how the deliverance is going to happen, but it's going to be a whole nother thing to actually see it. We're going to be astonished when we see it, because it's going to be happening as destruction is coming down. Simultaneously,
Right.
as destruction is coming down, deliverance is going to be going up.
Scarcely saved.
Think about that. In the midst of a siren, you know you only got 15 minutes left, and you see the chariots pop up and people being taken up. You're gonna be like, oh shit, take me. People gonna want it. They're gonna be like, damn, we erred in the way. Jump down to that part. Jump down to their inward thoughts when they actually see the deliverance, because it's gonna be an inner conflict going on with the people who realize they chose the wrong way.
And like the movie with Nicolas Cage, and Annoying, and they beat up his son and the little girl. He
Right.
said, I can't go. Yep. You gonna go stand there? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Now go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Only those that heard the call.
We erred.
Yep.
How was he chosen among?
That was a cool
yeah.
move.
Hey, can I pull this right here?
Yeah, come on.
This Luke's like Luke 17 and 29 in the NLT. It says, until the morning Lot left Sodom, then fire and burning sulfur rained down from heaven and destroyed them all. Yes, it will be business as usual right up to the day when the Son of Man is revealed.
Damn, business as usual.
Oh, wow.
These people, they're really in that spirit. Business as usual, regardless of what happens. We just came off of a pandemic, right? Where you couldn't go where you wanted to go. Where they forced you to wear a muzzle. The laws were changed to where it didn't matter. Your little rights that you thought you had didn't matter.
And
It was a foreshadowing of the control he seeks to have over you.
Right.
And it got lifted, and everybody was like, okay, back to normal.
They adjusted to it.
Yeah, they just adjusted. No one considered, hold up, something isn't right here.
Take
They
that
shouldn't be
cyber
able
off.
to
Right.
do this. They shouldn't be able to force this on me, on my children. Nobody thought anything of it. So when the Lord destroys this place, man, you people deserve it.
Yep. I'm gonna finish.
Con. Dropping down to verse 4, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 4. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor.
People look at us, no, that's the bum camp. They think our end is to be without honor. But they
Right.
don't realize this is the most prestigious thing that you could be doing.
They just
Right.
know we gonna lose.
They just know it.
Right.
We get waved off.
Yep.
Hey, that's why in Proverbs 1, the Lord said he's going to laugh at your calamity, because you said at not his counsel.
Yep.
You know damn well when you come by and they stop and they listen for that 2 minutes, you know the things we're saying are true.
The scholars, bro, like Dr. Brown, he's trying to laugh us off.
Yeah.
But you know it's a nerd. You can sense
Man,
that.
he know, yeah.
He's like,
Right.
shit,
Deep down,
vocab.
he know.
They deep down, they're like, what if they're right?
Right.
And they're trying to come with these points, and it's just like, bro, it's not even close. They're like, you're not even close to the level.
Yeah.
Like when you hear their points, you're like, this is the big bad scholar.
Right.
These scholars who be putting together these commentaries, they be on point with historical points and stuff like that. But when it comes to prophecy
Right.
and putting this thing together, they here and there they'll say something, but the majority of the time is wrong.
It's like a JV kid trying to play
Right.
a Pro Bowler.
Right.
It's really that far.
Right.
When the elders go into these lessons and they bring up their points, it's like,
Bro.
what was he trying to even say? It's like, wow, that's a very stark difference in understanding.
Right.
Man.
And they're trying to save Esau.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like David's it called him ruddy. All right, but then it said Esau's red all over. It's the same word. So is David white? Well, let's say that was true, David did look like Esau. Let's say that was true. David comes from the loins and lineage of Judah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. So he's the righteous seed.
You can't water that bloodline down, man. That
And
bloodline.
it's the blood.
Yeah.
But there's no such thing as white, a white person.
Dumbasses.
So see,
It's like the points they try to make. They try to keep you in that box like you still
White
think
and
like
black.
a nigga.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not under your spell. We're
Because
talking
people
about,
hear that. The average person that hears black and white, it draws and it triggers.
It tricks them into thinking in the way that Esau has told them to think.
Right,
We don't
right.
think that way.
Right,
So the arguments you're coming with is like you're talking to a nigga. You're not talking to niggas.
Right.
You're talking to the princes of the power.
I got one.
We ain't them niggas.
Yeah, man.
I got one for you real quick. 1 Corinthians 2:12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of the Most High.
Right.
And that's why there's a conflict with this and them, because we're not coming. This is not nothing earthly, man.
Yeah.
This come from the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
This ain't got nothing to do with us.
It can't be gainsaid.
Not of this world.
Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit is of the Most High, that we may know the things that are freely given to us by the Most High. That's it.
Right. So, anybody else?
That was it.
That was the point, right?
That was the point. If people are going to come to the understanding that they erred, man. I love Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, because it's the I told you so chapter.
Right.
You know? And we're salivating for that moment.
Right.
That I told you so.
Yeah. At the end of the chapter, it talks about how he's going to use the world to fight against the unwise. So
Yeah.
the Lord is weaponized. Like the Lord got all types of stuff happening in the earth.
Right.
That's it's gonna lead to right. We getting ready to go, bro. It's gonna get tight. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna be all right, man. The Lord didn't set us up to come out here and preach on the highways and byways, repent, turning many to righteousness through the Holy Spirit, and then Esau wins. The New World Order. They're gonna chip everybody, and that's man. I don't believe that.
Gotta labor of love.
Nah.
Righteousness.
While he is eating.
Right. Yeah. While he's about to fill his belly. So hopefully y'all are edified, man, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father.
Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.